Hi, my name is Sandi Wright, and welcome to my backyard in St. Louis, Missouri. Today we're going to talk a little bit about body language and how that can take your message or lyric and transport it to the audience in a real and believable way. We don't just use one thing. In other words, we don't just use our face when we're telling a story. We use a lot of our body parts, and we're going to break it down just a little bit so that you can understand what it means to have a body cluster of different movement, different feelings that can go into a song to make it so believable. For example, the eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul, and we vary our eyes as we sing. We don't ever want a truly wide-eyed look. That looks a little bit like a serial killer. So we want to be able to vary our eye width throughout our performance. That means narrowing the eye for something that you really want to say that's important, or opening the eye up and just relaxing it so that it's moist and there's no real tension in the eyes. The chin is another part of our body that we use a lot in normal speaking, but sometimes it just gets fixed on stage. A level head, a chin that is straight ahead, is going to say one thing, but a drop of the chin is a more nurturing look. And if you take your chin up too high, you start looking down your nose at the audience. We don't want that. We don't want you to look at the exit sign in the back of the room. We want to lower that gaze so that you're looking with a convincing emotion. Also, if you want to lower your chin just a little bit, it gives you even more nurture. And just by tilting the head slightly to the side, it gives you even more of an approachable, empathetic look. Also, we see a lot of flirty, we sing flirty eyes a lot, but it's amazing how many times I've got those flirty eyes and it's a straight ahead, kind of a wide-eyed look, when actually a flirty eye is more to the side with a side glance. I've got those flirty eyes engaging the chin and the head while you're singing it. The mouth can be also very expressive. If it's a happy love song, the lips are very full and relaxed and up. And if you're singing something that makes you angry, or if there's a frustrating part of the piece, your lips get very tight and very thin. And so just knowing where you are in the piece of music and then relaxing it for the love part, that can make such a big difference in the way it comes across on stage. Arms can be out, they can be in, but what we don't want to do is cross. When an arm comes in front of our bodies, we're protecting ourselves. We're cutting ourselves off from the audience. For example, if a man is nervous, he usually goes into this fig leaf position. Well, girls do the same thing. It's just a little more subtle. They begin to cross. They begin to go into this protection mode where they're protecting all their vital parts. And so we have to be careful that we don't sing with our hands in front of our body, because that's a block. Also, shoulders. Shoulders can say so much. It's not enough to just put an arm out. The shoulders have to go as well. A back shoulder is a prideful move. A front shoulder says sadness or sometimes love can be something that's endearing and soft. Also, shoulders can be sensual. They can come up, and when they do, the arms will come up with them. And then there's always the feet and the stance. When you're nervous, and we all get anxious and nervous on stage, or when we're performing or presenting to somebody at work, it's always amazing to me how this fight or flight thing kicks in and our ankles touch. They go together. And so what we want to do is resist the temptation to look nervous, unless, of course, that's what your song is saying. However, we don't sing too many nervous songs. But when your feet come in very close, your arms have to come in very close. Your shoulders roll forward and your chin goes down. That's the way we keep our balance. And so be aware that just by moving your legs and your feet into a more acceptable alignment for good singing, it's going to make all the difference in the relaxation of your legs, the ability to do choreography, and also, by the way, it creates an illusion, whether or not you really are feeling it, it creates an illusion of confidence. And that's what we want. We want you to be confident on stage and to let the audience know that you're in charge of this character. Now, if our feet are too wide apart, that's a power stance. We don't want to use that for too long. For one thing, it makes your knees lock, and that can be very uncomfortable, and it can also be dangerous on stage. Also, it arches our back, it pulls our shoulders back, it creates a tension, and the only thing that you can do with your arms is keep them away from your body because it's very difficult in this position to bring your arms forward. So this is a move that you would use sparingly, but certainly it is important sometimes. So let's talk a little bit about our gestures because we all use our hands when we talk. It's a cultural thing and it's a human thing. And so what we need to do is to know that what we don't want to do is scoop up air just to remind us that this is the end of the phrase, because so many times our gestures are tied to our phrase plan. And when that happens, that's where the audience goes too. The audience goes right to the, wow, look at how they're lifting the ends of those phrases. And what we want to do is to get them back in the lyric, get them back in the character. So to do that, what we have to do is know what gestures mean. So our thumb is our most powerful digit. That thumb can say so much, and when added to other gestures, it really can make a difference. It's one of those digits that we use sparingly. The pointer finger is our accusatory finger. If we're going to be accusatory, we'll use that pointer finger. But again, we want to use that with other clusters, like a power move, where we would want to bring the feet apart. And it can be intimidating to the audience if we use it for too long. If you lead with it, in other words, if the shoulder is there, it's more powerful. And if you engage the thumb and put that on top, it's even more powerful. The chin goes down, the eyes narrow. Now we've got anger. But we have to be able to not use that for very long because, like I said, you want to be as approachable as possible. We don't want to leave our audiences in a defensive position. So the two middle fingers, those are your tactile fingers. Those are the fingers that show love. It also those are the fingers that you dust off the old piano with. You don't write your name in the piano dust. You dust it, and then you wipe it off. You touch yourself. You feel. Those are your feeling fingers. So if you want something that says love or something a little softer than just normal singing, what you'll do is you'll lead with the tactile fingers, and if you want to bring it back, you bring it back with the tactile fingers, and that will show true love. So the tactile fingers are your emotion. They carry the emotion, the feeling. The pinky, your baby finger, is your ethereal finger. That's what shows universal. It shows that you're part of a greater world. And so if you want to show something being ethereal, you'll lead with the pinky. If you want something that shows power, you lead with the thumb. So ethereal, mystery, magical, sure, power, lead with the thumb. All right, so let's put this all in some of the songs that we sing. So we sing a lot of songs about innocence or not knowing or I never meant to fall in love, things like that. Innocence is very wide-eyed. It's very soft eye. So in order to get that wide eye, you have to lower your chin a little bit. You bring things in. You bring your shoulders in a little, and you look up. and it's okay to break contact with the audience, because in innocence, it's more that you're talking to yourself. You're very inward, and so the gaze might be a little more fixed. Then in power and pride, that's that wide stance, maybe hands on hips. And there's a difference between hands on hips in power, where the chin is level or even a little higher, and sexy, which is just a drop of the chin and a narrowing of the eye. So watch this: power and pride, power and pride, sexy. So it's just a little bit different than, but it's very close. So if you're doing trying to be alluring or coy or sexy, so many times I see people go into this position where they're cutting off the audience. They're cutting off all their vital parts. They bring their knee across. They cross their hands in front. That, girls, is not sexy. That is, I don't want to have anything to do with you. I am really wanting to just fold into a fetal position and roll in a ball and sit on the floor. So we don't want to use that one if we're trying to be alluring. If we're trying to be alluring, we want to have our feet a little bit wider apart. We want to be open to the person. We want to have a little bit of a narrow eye. We want to lower that chin. We might even want to tilt the head just a little bit. And if you really want to be flirty, it's that side glance. In love, when we're in love, when we sing about love, it's all open. We're like, come on in. We want that feeling of open. The eyes are wide, and they're dewy, they're moist, they're relaxed. Everything is relaxed. And so our knees are relaxed. If we bring our hands up, it's usually close in, but it's also palm up. With sadness, it's just the opposite. We come forward. With sadness, our feet are a little closer together. Our chin may be down. Our eyes may be lowered. We are we're processing. And so what has to happen is, it's almost like when you're really sad, you don't want to make eye-to-eye contact. You don't look at somebody and say, I'm really sad today. You look down and you say, I'm really sad today. There's a difference. And the eye contact, everything, again, it's body clusters. In anger, we're a little bit far, excuse me, we're a little bit further apart in our feet and our legs. We are ready to roll. Our knees are bent. We are in a power position. Our elbows are a little out. Our head is down. We're ready to charge. We're ready to fight. And so in anger, most of our songs, like How Can You Believe Me When I Said I Love You, are very staccato. Our lips have to be thinner, and we are almost like a bull ready to charge. Joy is just the opposite. Joy is open, free. Arms are up. Arms are away from the body. We may look up. We may look high. We may talk to the universe and enjoy. And we sing a lot of joy songs. It's really important that we know whether we're joyful, angry, sad, in love, powerful, sexy, innocent. And we always have to think ahead. In other words, think ahead one line when you're singing the song, so that you can lead the audience to the new place. I'm so happy today, but yesterday I was sad. You don't go, I'm so happy today, but yesterday I was sad. It's too abrupt. We have to lead the audience there. And so I hope this helps. It's all about clusters. It's all about using our whole body in everything that we do. So hope to see you again in person very soon. Bye from Region 5.